I might not be able to do werewolfathons for this time of year, but at least we have 3 Halloween-related videos to do, and we're gonna start by covering the Halloween episode of a well-known anime manga series, Bleach. Why did that play? This isn't about any werewolves. Oh, that doesn't count! Well, whatever. Let's just talk about Bleach. The series, not the laundry detergent. It originally was released in Shonen Jump in 2001 by Tite Kubo, and it started as a kind of supernatural slice-of-life story about a high schooler who can see dead people. He obtains the powers of a Soul Reaper to fight off the monsters that threaten him and those close to him. And then the series becomes more action-oriented by the time we meet the Soul Society. It's a very stylized series, with amazing looking characters and a unique world. And while the latter arcs aren't as good as the earlier stories, there's still a charm to it that can't be matched. The anime captures that quality well thanks to an awesome voice cast and soundtrack, especially this one. Sadly, like Naruto, the anime tends to have a lot of filler. This is what happens when it has to wait around for new material from the manga. Hell, you can even find filler in the middle of a story arc. And the episode we're looking at happens right as a main villain invades the hometown of the lead character. Now, I personally have no problem with the occasional standalone filler, but when it overtakes the main story a bunch, that can be irritating. But enough of that. We're here because I want to celebrate the Bleach series, which is finally getting its final arc adapted into anime format with the most beautiful looking art in the show. So let's get to it. This is episode 304, aka Gaiden again! This time's enemy is a monster? We open on a dark, stormy night, where the main character's 2 sisters, Karin and Yuzu, are performing a forbidden experiment to revive their dead brother.
A successful procedure! We did it, Karin!
Bleachigo! I mean, Ichigo Kurosaki. But he isn't quite Ichigo here.
My name is Franken Ichigo. I was on the brink of death after battling hollows, but I've been rebuilt and brought back to life.
Well, on the plus side, you still sound like Johnny Young Bosch. Oh, and since we're only looking at this one episode, no sense talking about the opening and ending themes. As Ichigo comes to terms with what he is, he runs into Rukia, or as he remembers her by...
Ruki.
Who?
One night, I had a dream. I awoke in a desert to find I'd become an Arabian thief and... it's not important. All you really need to know is this whole thing's a dream.
Yes, a dream. We'll get back to that later. At least we're at the "it was all a dream" stage. And like the previous instance of this happening, the hero must find a way out. At least I don't have to do anything silly like that. You could see that again. Since when did you talk like that? I always could. I just have nothing to say aloud. Anyway, Rukia insists that this isn't a dream, and berates him for not going to a meeting. A Halloween monster meeting, of course! We have Rangiku dressed as a witch, Uryu as Dracula, Hitsugaya as a werewolf, Orihime as a pumpkin, I guess, and Renji as a mummy. Seeing as this episode is mostly comedic, we have characters being overly goofy, either through slapstick, or through weird things like Uryu drinking milk instead of blood, because he can't drink blood.
As you can see, I'm both Dracula and a Quincy. It's only natural that I take pride in the color white.
What's wrong, Uryu?
The truth is, I'm a little anemic because I can't drink blood.
That didn't age well. Doubly so for his voice actor. Rukia is meant to be a succubus, by the way, and Ichigo thinks she's trying to seduce him.
I only use my skills on certain people. They have to be both noble and beautiful to get my attention. For example, someone like my older brother.
And Renji claims he's not a mummy, but a pirate?
Once upon a time, not that long ago, I was a pirate who sailed the 7 seas. But I was constantly being harassed by my archenemies, Team Seaweed. Let's get 'em, boys!
Seaweed zone defense! Seaweed!
Yeah, Bleach filler doesn't usually look this dumb. And I know it's trying to use the humor from the side stuff, but this is a bit too much. And I'm just gonna say it right now, but the characters using Halloween characters is derived from the color spread for chapter 379. Kind of like episode 287 doing an adaptation of a color spread from chapter 177, which was inspired from 1001 Nights. And given how both of these episodes end, I kinda wonder about all this being a dream. But on the subject of this dream, there isn't a lot of material to work with. So it's time to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. For example, Renji's pirate battle was in reference to his fight with Byakuya in the Soul Society arc.
Now that you're at my mercy, shall I tell you the difference between you and I? It's class.
They also do the gag where Hitsugaya acts like a dog, even though he's a wolf. Just a lot of time wasting before the plot kicks in again. It comes in the form of these monster hunters, who are looking for a secret treasure called the Snow Crystal. If Ichigo can get it first, he can escape the dream. The hunters introduce themselves by coming out of a Garganta, and while it would have been funny if the hunters were Aizen and one of his turncoat buddies, they are sadly not. Instead, we have Ryukin and Isshin, the fathers of Uryu and Ichigo respectively.
Hey, Ryukin!
Calling your father by his first name? You haven't changed at all. Just accept the fact. The truth of the matter is, whether you like it or not, I am the only man who is allowed to call himself the last monster hunter.
More direct references to past episodes, but this one is kinda funny. Naturally, Uryu wants to fight his dad while everyone else protects the crystal. But Ichigo already left to claim it. But his dad intervenes and tries to protect his son from the crystal.
Well, just forget it. The snow crystal is mine, Dad.
Where'd you get that from? Anyway, the fights in this are just as poorly thought out as the jokes. They're meant to reference other fights, but the punchlines suck. Like this one about the number of arrows these two can fire.
You probably think the maximum number of spirit arrows I can shoot in a volley is 1,200, don't you? It's 1,200 and 1.
It's meant to reference Uryu's fight with Icelinger Warnar, where Uryu overpowers him with 1,200 arrows, but here his father has to literally one-up him. Then, as they reference the fight with Xyloporo Grants with Uryu's Springer technique, Rangiku performs some kind of weird spell like she's a magical girl, which is just her using her Zanpakuto Heineko. And then Hitsugaya goes Bankai, except... Like, what is going on? Is this really supposed to be a Halloween episode, or a random sketch? Even their previous Dream episode paid homage to the Arabian Nights theme, and that was just one big remake of the Soul Society arc. Anyway, Ichigo survives all the attacks because of his hollow mask, and even though he complains about it, Uryu tells him that he should have listened to how it worked, and they yuck it all up, at least until the dads show up again.
What the hell?
Now you kids have really done it. You little bastards!
They get chased into the tower where the crystal is. Orihime and Momo put up pumpkins around because it would help protect it more. Actually, this is probably the funniest thing of this episode, as Orihime would totally be doing this. But uh-oh, the crystal is gone. How could this be? Still, Ichigo decides to stand up for his friends while his theme music plays.
You think you're actually able to defeat us?
It's no longer a matter of whether I think I can defeat you.
Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not doing this to try and help you. This is my fight too, and I'm not gonna run away.
Look, I love number 1, but it deserves better than this. And their combined spiritual pressure is so strong that it makes the two dads leave. Yep, we don't even get a real final fight. They just leave. Oh, and where did Rukia go? Well, she was in the box the whole time. Because she is the Snow Crystal. Turns out this wasn't Ichigo's dream, but someone else's.
What did you do that for?
What's going on?
Alright, so the first time they did this dream plot, the dreamer was revealed to be Asane Kotetsu. And I guess this dream ended with the snow crystal being a fish cake, and it wasn't the first time she had it. I imagine she'll have more questions about why this dream she had...
Beast! That was really scary.
No, it was me.
What? Like, seriously? It's bad enough that they chose to do 2 dream episodes that aren't far apart from each other, but this isn't a good way to mix things up the second time around. You literally established that Dream Ichigo was living through another dream, so Asane has to be the dreamer. Because otherwise, how would Komamura know what the hell was going on? Also, it seems like a waste of a twist to use Komamura. Maybe let Hitsugaya be the false lead before showing that it was Komamura's dream. It would be pretty funny for the designated werewolf character of the dream to become an actual wolfman, considering that Komamura is a wolfman. How do you screw this up? But no, instead they choose to repeat the same kind of dream as before, fill it with bad jokes or poor references to better fights, because they couldn't come up with anything more interesting for a Halloween episode. They could have had a demon parade, redo the battle for fake Karakura Town with Aizen. Just don't limit yourself to just petty humor the whole time. There is potential for a funny Bleach Halloween special, but this isn't it. It's a poorly executed repeat of the same dream concept from an earlier episode, and this really could have been a clip show instead. At least it's over, and we can move on to better things, hopefully. Unless something else wants to come in and shake things up. Okay, let me guess. You're my imposter or something? Your imposter? Hell no! You're my imposter! What are you talking about? Haven't you realized you've been dreaming this whole time? Well, I mean, that would explain Loki talking earlier. Well, my Loki wouldn't do that in a dream. Only an outsider would dream that. What are you saying? Here, look at yourself. What? No, what is this? What does this all mean?
I can't believe I dreamed of that exact same episode to review again. How does that even happen twice, let alone once? Oh no, I'm not falling for that again. I'm going back to bed.
Huh, guess he's not around. Oh well, guess I'm doing these Halloween reviews without him.